Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to review Module 7, Week 7, what to expect and some of your responsibilities. As I review the course calendar, I am going to go over a few housekeeping issues that stem from Week 6. So in looking at Week 6, I will go into the course calendar. You will notice that I have here information about your project, your social media influencer assignment. That was supposed to be a group project, but that's now being individualized. And you were supposed to turn in your quote-unquote final draft for your compare and contrast essay. Now, not many of you turned in your final draft. You turned in your first draft, even though I gave you more than enough time for that. And if you are in a category who submitted your final draft, and that was just one of you, or should I say that one submission that was ready for final draft submission, I have already graded your work. Now, for this class, I made it clear that those of you who were missing in action, you needed to contact me, and I'm happy to say that many of you got the message. You responded to my message, and you let me know what was going on, or at least try to make me know what was going on. You gave me some reasons, and I will reach out to you to set up a meeting. Now, there are some of you who I have also reached out to proactively, and I've not gotten a word from you. At this time, I have reached out to everyone who is enrolled in this class, so there is going to be no excuse for anyone who just decides to drop the class or for whatever reason cannot continue the class because you've not met with me to discuss. Now, having said that, I want to repeat that if I reach out to you to set up a meeting with me, it's for a time, it's for a reason, and I am being proactive. You want to take advantage of that window. If you're trying to reach out to me when the class is almost over and you say you need to meet, I'm going to remind you of my previous messages because I have a very busy workload and there's only this amount of time, this time window that you have in order to communicate with your instructor concerning some work that you haven't submitted or work that you need to resubmit. I'm going to leave that at that, and we're going to move on to Week 7. Now in Week 7, you can see what you need to turn in. You only have one discussion board post to complete. And you should be working on your project, which is your presentation on social media influencer. I am going to be very, 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 very strict when it comes to late work because you have given you guys more than enough time to plan, prepare, and even research your favorite social media influencer. So that's not due until Week 9. So you got plenty of time to work on this project, and it's an individual project. Hopefully it's something that you really like because you're supposed to pick somebody that you really like. If you complete this project, I think it'll be easier for you to work on the final project. So you want to make sure that you are paying attention to what is due. Now in Week 7, as I said, we are going to be looking at Ray Bradbury. There's a short story written by Ray Bradbury, Pedestrian. Those of you who completed your high school in Illinois or perhaps in the United States will be familiar with Ray Bradbury. So Ray Bradbury, he is a science fiction writer and novelist. If you've heard of Fahrenheit 457, I believe that's what it's called. You should be familiar with him. He is Fahrenheit 451, not 457. That is a famous work by Ray Bradbury. Now in Week 7, when you go to the content tab, it looks like my screen is taking a while to load up. Hopefully it shows up, but while that loads up, let's go into the course calendar. So you are going to be reading The Pedestrian. Now I have different versions of the pedestrians to increase your range of engagement. If you want to look at the audio version, the animated version, or there's a PDF containing the original short story, you feel free to look at that. I'm doing so because I want to increase your engagement, and people have different preferences when it comes to learning and reading. So when you go into the content tab and you click on go to module 7 week 7, this is where we are. You should be able to find the readings for Ray Bradbury's and other means of engagement for the short story. So make sure you review the contents here. Also, I have got something of a profile on Ray Bradbury. Make sure you understand. I'm sure that many of you are familiar with him because this is a famous short story. The Pedestrian, and the other one too you'll be reading later in the week. Later in week 8 will be There Will Come Soft Rains. So that's another short story by Ray Bradbury. He was a prolific writer. He was born in the suburb of Chicago. It's Waukegan. So from Waukegan, Illinois. So you want to make sure that you are familiar with the short story, and you have, like I said, various means of engagement. If you want to look at the animated version, the audio version, or read the PDF short story version, go for it. Another topic we are going to look at is social isolation and technology. Many of you, especially if you completed your first essay on the compare and contrast of the Social Network, the movie, you are probably familiar with the theme of social isolation and technology. Well, at least you've probably seen some idea of what that can result to. Zuckerberg, who created this big social networking site, Facebook, he was more isolated than ever. And even the irony was that he was supposed to bring people together, create a community. But he himself and the people involved in setting up Facebook, they were more isolated, and it was a fractured relationship that Zuckerberg and his team they had with each other, especially those who were behind the idea for Facebook, including the Winklevoss twins. Now, in this module, we are going to be looking at it from a scholarly perspective. Make sure that you watch this video, The Friendship Recession. It's got some connection with, I'll give you an idea, it's got some connection with what some of the themes you will see in The Pedestrian. There is also an article published by the Office of the U.S. Surgeon General on loneliness and isolation. So I decided to give you guys a one-page summary of it because I don't want to bore you with the in-depth research. It's a lot. So make sure you review that. Let's go into our core shell to see where you can find that. So this is the one-page summary. So once you click on it, let's click on it and see what comes up. You should be able to have some understanding of what's going on in the nation, the country, when it comes to what the Surgeon General has called epidemic of loneliness and isolation. So it's still loading up. While that loads up, I want to emphasize that you have a discussion board post to complete on the pedestrians. That should be super easy. I haven't said that I want to keep you guys posted on what's coming up. You have a next essay, and I want to remind you again that if you're enrolled in this class, it's your responsibility to catch up with the work, with the due dates, with the submission due dates. It's my responsibility to give you feedback, but I can only do so much when you are not engaged in the class. I have tried my best, and I will continue to try my best. But while you are studying, learning, and writing, I will look for opportunities to give you feedback, but as I seek to give you feedback, I expect that you implement this feedback, or at least get back to me if you're struggling to understand the feedback that I've given you. That said, this page is still taking a while to load up, but you should be able to open up the PDF documents when you have access to the course shell, this specific module. Let's see if I have any other topic to cover in the course calendar. I believe I've reviewed everything that you need to understand about module 7. Let's go back into the module folder. I will make it available, but one thing I will mention is that as you have some downtime to work on different tasks that you have to complete in college, not just for this class but other classes, I want you to remember that things may get very busy, because looking at the module 7, we also have other modules, and you're going to start working on an essay. So when it comes to your group project, do not, I say group project, the individual project, try to take advantage of the downtime you have in which you're not doing anything to work on it. Remember, it's yours, it's not a group project, and you're going to have the presentation. On that note, I want to wish you the best week. I hope it goes well I hope it's going well with your other classes, and I look forward to meeting with many of you, especially if we've never spoken or had any meeting since the start of the class. That will be happening soon. Take care and have a wonderful week. Bye-bye.